The story began on the guy looking his face in the mirror and said he looked like a madman, but he couldn't help it, and opened his mouth after a lot of consideration, and he talked to himself in the mirror, and asked who he was, and what's my name, and remember that his name is Hoyeol, and he become the character that he wrote, the Grandfell Claudi Arpeus Romeo, the successor of the great clan. Now while chilling up while drinking tea, he remembering that he seemed like he become a character that he made 12 years ago, when he was in his second year of middle school, and second year that exactly finishing his another precious version of comics, and said that it was a character that he made when he was at the height of puberty, and said that it was because of that game called History of the Archana Continent, one of the greatest virtual reality games in another world, until service for it was terminated, that was never topped by another game, making it a legendary game, and the day service for Archana was become terminated, along with the news that the CEO, Raymond, had gone missing, and Archana appeared within the real world. Breaks in reality appeared throughout the world and monsters from the game started to appear. That was when they all thought the world was going to end, but all people was assimilated with their character in the game. That was when players appeared, but not only were they able to use they skills from the game, but they were able to defeat all monster and save the entire world, and player soon becomes a heroes. And now he say that there was a time that he was fantasized on becoming a players too, that when he realized that even he become awakened and had a power, he wouldn't be that famous, cause he say that the cost of buying of a virtual reality login machine was a tens of millions of won, and even he renting one, it will be cost 100,000 per month. Even his father couldn't afford to let him play as many game as he wanted, and his father felt so sorry for him, cause his father business was collapsed, and that's when he realized that grim truth of reality, that he had no choice but to quit on Archana, and said that if he had known that this situation he and gonna happened, he wished that never quit the game, and he said that he didn't get to play for even a full year, and now his level and stats are all shit, and even though he finally managed to awaken his power, he think that he spawned as a character that he made 12 years ago during his puberty, and going crazy on what happening, and shown Grandfell Claudi Arpeus Romeo, a character that he made during his puberty, and also a character that he was heavily invested in. The story went as follows. A Grandfell had been the successor of a great family, but his family was massacred by a demon and he was left all alone, and in order to get his revenge, he decided to become a demon hunter, and he say that was the pointless and cringy story that he played with, and it was another persona that he thought that he possessed when he was in his middle school, and at the same time it was his dark magic, although he think it would be nice memory to laugh about him, when he was in his middle school, and say that as a grown man, it was just an endless sources of embarrassing, and said that his memories, he missed it, while his inner self say that he need to shut up his self, and stop talking in the weird manner way, and said that he supposed to need was to work tomorrow, and he can't even function as a proper member of society with the way that he talk, and shown a scene, being him, while he asking by his superior, that he think to himself is like a celebrity, and ask him if he want to become an idol, and talking some nonsense thing, while he threw his coffee to him, and he said that he can't be sued, so he can't believe it, that everything that he say was completely different, and say that is this how it feels to become a player and assimilate with the character that they played as, cause most people said that there wasn't a big difference, so why his character like that, and say that he can't work anymore like that, cause he looks like he have no choice to work as a player, but he don't remember anything about Archana except for his memory from 10 years ago, and open his laptop, and said that he must need to search up some stuff first, since he don't know anything about what it takes to be a players. Now the money that ranker players earn when they clearing a high level ruptures is worth about hundreds of millions, and since it all depends on risking their life in the battle, it all pretty pointless information for him, not only is he own his life more than in money, and said that he have no greed for such a things, that's why he need to take a look and see what demon hunters doing nowadays, and see only 2-page information about demons, and said that do demons hunters not doing anything, and if they exclude the 2 wiki pages, it's just a news articles, while he seemed so shocked after he see the articles about auction base was fallen, and say that the auction base was easily destroyed like that, and all players are died, while he say that the only town to becomes a demon hunter, and the holy land of demon hunters, that auction was become a bloody places, and he say that it seemed that's nobody plays that role anymore, but because the roles was basically been deleted, and the demon hunter was died, not only did they have a low stats, but it seemed it was awkward that they choose a build path, and even their skills is so weak, and since it was much harder for them to level up through hunting monsters, and they were dependent on gaining experience to level up through quests, however they were incomparable to other classes when it came to dealing with the demons, however, since demons only appeared in the demon hunter quests, and most of the quests were infamous for requiring the players to grind. Not only it was the role was pointless for the people to play, and Demon Hunter was even considering a useless class, and he wondering that the role was being useless and not being able to proceed to the next class or teo different things, and say that it seems bad for them, and since all the skills teaching NPC are all dead, and say if there was more information, while he see the comments section, there was a change, and new demon added, because of the update, while he hurry up to checked it and see what is new in Archana, and shown the new demon monsters, and said that the players' casualties have increased dramatically due to the demon's strong debuffs, and mental disruption, possession, and even the level 200 players struggle, while he say that if the demons have appeared in reality, then why haven't any demon hunters taken care of them now? He say maybe he was the only demon hunters after the fall of auction, and say that if that's the case he should take charge for them, even he was 10 years setback for him, and thinking that there's no promise that the demons he know are the same demons that are appearing now, and say that 10 years is plenty of time for things to change, and even the high-leveled players are struggling, and say that what he can do, while his younger self say to Jim that he was so weak, and said that he, Grandfell Claudi Arpeus Romeo, are not running away from mere demons, and said that is his pride, and no matter what temptation or taunts demons may throw at him, they will fail to hurt the high pride of Grandfell, while he realized that it was had a point so, he say that he need to that. And faced it with confidence, now he say that it was a pointless thought, and say that he don't need to hesitate, and say that he need to be honored, and he will make sure that he will make then to return back to hell. Now several years passed by after the great cataclysm, many things were destroyed, but people were able to get back on their feet, life comes back onto the streets, and everyone quickly adjusted to new world. However, where there is a light, then there is darkness. The negative emotions of the newly adjusted people made great food for the devil. Now party leader tanker Nam Cheolman was waiting for him, and he saw him arriving now, while he say that Cheolman is already there, while Cheolman greetings him, and introduce himself to him, that his name was Cheolman, the leader of the party, while he said that he nice to meet him, and he saw that there was a rupture, and said that the only players can saw it, and normal people aren't affected by the rupture, and say that he would be one of them if he had not awakened, while he said that the more important is his level, and he is not bad hunting spot for level 55 like him, to look into the average level of the players that are going into there, and he say that 200 level that's he can't even fathom at the very moment, he need to keep working hard to achieve it, but he thankfully, that highly players aren't the only ones who awakened, so he was able to find a party with a similar to an average level like him, while his party members say to him that they are looking forward to working with him, while the Cheolman said to them that they need to prepare for a bit, and then go in exactly 5 minutes from then, while he seemed that he thinking the destruction progress that we will occurred when the times come, and the rupture breaks down and the monsters are let loose into their world, but players are currently allowed to freely raid the ruptures, and only players can only able to approach the ticking time bomb. Now Cheolman said that they need to go now, while his members was seems happy, while he wondering that everyone was really friendly, and said that he should say something as L party members, and he say that as an only son with 3 sisters, he had always watched in orders to survive in his great sister war, and say that going with the atmosphere was a piece of cake for him, and his character suddenly said that they don't need to worry cause he is there for them, while he said to himself that why his character say something like that, while his party members is ignoring him, while in the deep inside of his heart that he don't sad anything anymore, and the notifications shown that they entered to Null's underground, while they exploring the place, and walk from a while, the girl say that she seems that he don't see any Nulls around despite its name, while the team leader said to them that he sure that another parties came in there before them, and said that they don't need to worry, cause they be able to take their share if they take the right route, while his members agree to him, while Lee is feeling something is off, and they suddenly saw a Nulls, and they said that they need to prepare for the battles, and Cheolman said that they need to fight, and rushed over there, and his party's members go as well, while he is thinking that 1 tanker, 2 close range dealers, and 1 magic dealer, he say that the combination was pretty normal, but the tanker was so aggressive the monsters instead of protecting his parties, and it seems that they going to lose, and can't defeat the monsters, while the deal tanker is doing most of they defense, and the mages is doing most of dealing damage, and he say that this people had know what kind they doing, while he is so disappointed for them, but he guess it's not his problem since he is also a useless, while the girl say that her cooldown for the stamina buff is almost over, and the guy said that Cheolman need to go a bit slower, for them to catch up, while Lee thinking that he need to do is to find any useful weapons, and he should fight as little as possible, until he can find a weapon, but the monsters suddenly ambush them, and all of them can't fight back, and they seem gonna die, and they asking for help in Cheolman, while Cheolman are only looking, and not doing something, while a monster's trying to attack the guy in behind. Lee attacked the monster, and save his party members, and he said that he seems that the beast was yet to be trained, and said that it doesn't suit him that, but the punishment is necessary sometimes in life, while the guy say thanks to him, while he real self that he don't want to talk like that either, while monsters was so pierced to attack, and trying to kill them all, and the girl became scared on what she seeing, that her will to fight are gone, while Lee cheering her up, that he need to calm down, to win the fight on what they're facing it, and he said that they need to get rid of the one that approaching them, and use their full attack, even if it takes a while, and release his arrow, and hit the monsters, while his members say to the girl that how much time she need to cast her spell, while she said that it coming right now, and said that everyone need to out, and release her fire magic, and all monster died an instant, and the said if the fight is over, while the girl asked if he okay, while Lee said that he was fine, and say that she need to look after they other teammates, while he thinking if the arrow can pick it back to him, and the girl was helping her teammates, and giving them a healing potion, while this guy is so mad at Cheolman, and said that he out of his mind, and say he can understand why Cheolman didn't helping them, and said that Cheolman basically let them walk into a trap, and he needs some explanation for him, while the smile at him like a devil, and laughing out loud, while the guy said if that things is funny to him, and want to beat in Cheolman, but Lee stop him, and the girl suddenly scared on what she saw, while Cheolman say that is very funny to see a bunch of idiots are struggling in front of him, while they seemed shocked on what they heard from Cheolman, and a notice pop up that the activating skill was a natural enemy, and the battle power will be rapidly increased when fighting a demons, while Lee say that Cheolman was a demon, and Cheolman is smiling and say that they was all dumbass, while the three members couldn't believe on what their situation they're in, and they can't believe that Cheolman is a demon, but Cheolman use his skills mind T-tac and all of them fell hallucinations, and Cheolman laughing and said that shivering in the fear was good for them, while saying human is weak. Lee suddenly attacked him, but Cheolman depends himself, said to him that he don't even care if the human dies, and need to know that if Lee kill him, will his members die too, while he thinking that he can't pierce Cheolman armor, and say that he should need know the gaps between the of them, while Cheolman is attacking him, and said that he still need to attack him despite of what is said, but Lee hit him in the back, but Cheolman armor was so hard to destroy, while Cheolman attacking him like a crazy dog, but Lee was avoiding all of his attack, and while Cheolman is laughing, Lee defeat him while slashed him face in just in one swing with his knife, while Cheolman suddenly screaming in pain, and thinking how Lee slashed him, and defeated him by a mere human, while Lee said to him that he don't need to talk,